What is going on, folks? It's your boy, actually, Amungus here. Today, we're coming at you with some MTG Quick Draft. And right now, the set available for Quick Draft is Zendikar Rising. So, we're going to hop right into it. First pick, first pack. We got Seagate Stormcaller in here. But it's so very conditional. We're actually going to take like a really just a glue pick, the Core Celebrant. You know, there's the Minotaur in here too. There's the Flyer. But the Minotaur is a double caster. I don't want to first pick it and things like that. Second pick, you got the Crawling Barrens, Black Bloom Rogue, Sellsword, Spring Mantle Cleric. Both are good. But I think overall the best pick, the one I'm going to go for, is the Prowling Felidar. Third pick, we got a Kazandu Stomper, which is pretty good, but it's kind of like leaning my deck one way or the other. We end up going with the Shepherd of Heroes because I've seen more things in the packs that go with the party system than anything else. So for that reason, we're going to go with that. Grab a Surefoot Infiltrator, grab a Protector, you know, kind of starting to build the theme. Blue shows up a little more. We get a Geyser Mage, which we end up using. Seagate Colossus. We grab the Spring Mantle. Get a Seafloor Stalker. Should have probably grabbed the Giant Cleric there, but it's a mistake. We end up not playing the Scale the Heights, but it is what it is. Here we get the Tajuru Paragon. Excuse me if I'm pronouncing any of these names wrong. You know how Magic cards are, but this thing was just way too perfect to not add to the deck. Kind of the opposite of the Cragplate Bailiff. I felt like it was just such a bomb, I had to go for it. But we don't play it. We do end up playing the Veteran Adventurer. We grab Marasa Brute. We grab, you know, start basically. We're only starting the second pack, but we basically already have our guideline. Blue, at this point we're trying to figure out if blue is going to be a splash or a full thing. I really should have grabbed the removal spell over the Scythe Cat here, but I guess I got a little greedy, even though I'd already basically decided off of running the landfall type of thing. Landfall could have been a really strong deck if I would have grabbed the removal spells, and I kind of grabbed just way too many creatures throughout this draft. But you know, here we're gonna go fill it out a little bit more with some green. We get the rogues in case we're a little low on rogues, but we end up not needing them. I said blue ends up being just a tiny splash. This is definitely how you want to play it. If you're going to do a 3-color deck, you want to keep one of the 3 colors to a very bare minimum and only play cards that are like good in the late game, because it may take you a while to get the mana you need. But anyway, here we got the deck. We got Archpriest of Verona, Seagate. We got Dauntless. We got the Exploration. You know, we got a bunch of 2-drops, mostly the Paragon we're talking about here. Taunting Arborage can help with some removal. S is like pseudo removal, you know how it can be. Seafloor Stalker, Geyser Mage, once again pseudo removal. Angel Heart Protector, not Elvish Visionary. Grab 2 Shepherd of Heroes and a Seagate Colossus with the Veteran Adventure, top out the curve. So let's get right into the games. You know, we got sped up footage here because I wanted to try to experiment, try to keep the videos more watchable, see if it helps out. So in this first game, we're actually gonna get really lucky. Everything that we built this deck for is really gonna work out. We go really great curve. We got synergy. We got our bomb. Well, we don't. I wouldn't call them bombs. We got our rares showing up. Our most valuable spells is what I'm meaning to say showing up. And yeah. So Geyser Mage is actually going to come in there to help us pick up the win, and as I said, everything was just pretty much working on that one. Game 2, we have like a party versus party matchup where our opponent has trouble getting their second color of mana for a long time. It has to work around that, and it may provide us an advantage throughout the game. I possibly could have waited a little longer to play the Shepherd of Heroes there, but it kept me in the game. I mean, I felt like preserving my Veteran Adventurer and my Spring Mantle was probably the best plays I had, so that's the reason why I did that. So preserving the Veteran Adventurer obviously didn't work out to my favor, but our lack of removal spells and the way we made up for it with things like Taunting Arbor Mage, just like in game 1, how the Geyser Wizard showed up and showed why he was a pseudo removal spell. This is how we're able to use the Taunting Arbor Mage as a pseudo removal, but I had more than one opportunity to get a better removal spell, and I really wish I would have took one, if not both of those. So could have possibly got some more wins out of this deck if I would have done that, but it is what it is. We end up being able to also use our Dauntless Unity as a pseudo removal spell here as well, and just basically wipe our opponent's board, basically clutching the game from here. I mean, we're both really low on cards, more or less top decking, even though currently he has 2 spells in hand. We're more or less in the top deck position, and I just wiped his board. We also end up drawing the Might of Marasa right on time, giving us exactly the right amount of damage to win this game. So we don't have to take much of a risk of him having a really great top deck. Here we see that the mana fixing was bad, so we decided to mold down the 6, and it actually ends up working out perfectly. We get like the most flawless mana curve and just totally wash this guy. Once again, finished with the Might of Marasa, and we're moving on to the next one. Where if Mulligan went right for me in the previous game, it definitely went wrong for me in this game. We end up mulliganing down to 5, and we do our best to hold on, but it just really puts us in a bad position from the beginning in this one. Another thing that messes with us in multiple ways, besides just like the obvious lack of cards, with us having one card in hand right now to our opponent's 6 is a good time to bring that up. But we also can't seem to get a white mana, making our Spring Mantle Cleric a little less valuable. We end up drawing a Shepherd, and just, everything just kind of goes wrong from the mulligan on this match. Eventually, we just obviously get overran by his field advantage based on his card advantage, and it's just too much to deal with. What's funny is we start to lose at this point, and on the last win off of the perfect curve mulligan, I actually had just hit platinum off of that one. Then we get a bad luck mulligan and we get a diamond opponent from there. But I just hit platinum 4 on that match, so at least I couldn't go down rank. You see, if I was seeing the bird, the spider, more than one of the saber cats, which I really shouldn't have picked anyway, instead of the party-based cards, I may have ended up having a deck similar to my opponent's here, but instead we end up getting beat by one, drawing out a bunch of land and just getting more or less stomped. I was very tempted to mulligan on this last game, and I ended up having to wait and prey on a forest, which may have cost me valuable time, because we do end up losing this last match. Going 3-3, and could have been better. I really felt like this deck deserved a better run, but a lack of removal spells and an inability to establish board presence because of that definitely was costly in this one. I do feel like there was a lot of good things I did, like the mana or the balance of the 3 colors and things of that nature, but room for improvement. Honestly, Zendikar Rising isn't my favorite set to draft. I've been trying to enjoy it and have some fun with it while it's in quick draft, but I will be happy to see it rotate